So you're thinking of moving to the Twin Cities market? Well, you come to the right spot. Today we're going to do a deep dive of where the Twin Cities housing market is at. We're going to take a look at where prices are at, days on market, supply, some of those leading indicators that let you kind of know the health of the market. So if you're looking at headlines across the nation, I know things are really, really scary. Here in Minnesota, it's a little different. We tend to have a lot of different seasonality of things. So if you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button, get notifications when we make a video. My name is Steve. If you're looking to learn everything there is to know about the Twin Cities market, you've come to the right spot. So let's do a deep dive of where things are at today. All right, popping right into my computer here, let's take a look right where things are at here in the Twin Cities market. So look at the Twin Cities region in general. We're taking a look at sales price, average sales price. We do see month over month that it's starting to go down a little bit. Now, this is extremely common here. If we look historically, pretty much every year we see things go down and bottom out throughout the winter months, and then they start to come back up during the spring. So while you might see headlines that prices are starting to decrease, again, Minnesota, it's very seasonal. This is what we see pretty much every year, and we've seen that for the last couple of years and historically pretty much every single year. Year over year, they're still up 6.5%, which is a great sign. A lot of areas throughout the country aren't seeing this. They're seeing prices start to level off or even start to decrease a little bit and be kind of neutral from a year over year standpoint. So the fact that we're seeing things still increase year over year is great for the housing market in general here. A big leading indicator as well are days on market. So if you're thinking of moving here, you're thinking of buying, this is a great indicator for you. More, the longer houses sit around for, the better opportunity you're going to get it. You might be the only person looking at it. You have a little bit more bargaining power. Over the last couple of years, days on market has been very low. You can see as low as 7 days on market. So that's literally a house goes on the market, it's under contract through its inspection contingency within a week. That's super, super fast. Now we're pretty much tripled that. We're closer to 26 days on market, which again, if you're buying, gives you time to get in there, maybe take a second look at it. Good chance you're the only person potentially looking at the house as well. Now, historically, we're kind of trending towards more normalcy. So when you see that it's up 62.5% year over year, if we look back pre-COVID, you see days on market on the low end of 16. So we're not too far off of that. And we look at December of 2019 or January 2019, we're at 36 days on market. So we're still less than that. We're still way below where we're pre-COVID levels. We're not back to those levels yet. So a lot of ways to go if things are going to start crashing or correcting. We're not really seeing that here yet in the Twin Cities market. One thing that we are seeing that is very interesting is our month's supply of inventory. So if you're not familiar with the term, if no new homes hit the market, builders stop building. Given the current level of inventory we have and the demand we have, we'd run out of homes in 1.7 months here in the Twin Cities. So if you're looking at a correction or a crash, you're going to have a big discrepancy between supply and demand, and you see supply really start to go up. We're not seeing that here. We've been holding steady at about 1.9 months for the last 3 months, and we actually saw it dip down in December. 1.7 months is historically very low. We kind of have a balanced market. It's closer to 6 months. If we look again, kind of pre-COVID where we were hovering around in the twos most of the time throughout most of 2018 and 2019. We didn't really start seeing it dip until we got to the COVID years, and we're still not even back to pre-COVID levels on where things are at. Historically, we do see inventory dip in the wintertime. People just don't move as much, don't put your house on the market. But if there was a correction or something happening, houses would be sitting a lot longer, and we'd see this massive change here, and we're just not seeing that. One of the reasons we're not seeing that is Minnesota historically is very seasonal. So if we take a look at what's been happening over the market here over the last 7 days, and it's January 3rd, 2023 right now. These are the houses that are hitting the market. So we have 512 new listings that have hit the market, 82 listings that are getting ready to hit the market. They're incoming soon. So just around 600 listings that are going to be hitting the market that just hit the market over the last 7 days or will be hitting the market very, very soon. Beyond that, we've had 619 homes go pending or go under contract, 987 close, 155 people said, hey, I'm just not going to sell my house anymore. And 785 expired, or they just didn't renew their listing. So we have 500, almost 600 coming on the market, but we just had a whole bunch leave the market, almost 2,000 leave the market. And that's why we're seeing the supply start to dip down a little bit. This is a very interesting trend to take a look at if you're thinking of buying in the Twin Cities market. As rates come down, and they're projected to keep kind of going down here in Q1 and Q2, if we're not having supply come back up with it, we're probably going to see a big shift into a seller's market again. So we need to see a shift in supply and demand is coming up. Supply is starting to come down with it. All those things are kind of leading towards what could be a very strong seller's market in the spring. So if you're thinking of buying, Lex, 30 to 60 days might be a really great opportunity for you to get in there. We kind of look at closed sales overall. We are starting to see them plunge down, but it's not because people can't sell their homes. It's because people are choosing not to sell their homes. So people are choosing not to sell their homes. It's keeping supply low. So that as demand starts to come up, might see a big shift in things here that you need to be paying attention to if you're thinking of buying. If you can do it in the next 30 to 60 days, you might be getting some really good deals. It's hard to predict what's going to happen beyond that, but we are seeing a lot of people choosing not to sell their home right now. Homes for sales down, pending sales are down, new listings are all down. Again, historical for Minnesota, but not historical if we're expecting a big crash. If we look at just how low it is, again, new listings hitting the market year over year from December to December, we're down 17.2%. That's huge. Again, and we're in an area where we're supposed to be crashing or correcting. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a lot of homes starting to hit the market, and we're just not. And we've historically been in a very low inventory market here in Minnesota anyway. So to see a big decrease coming down like that year over year when it was already low, not a good sign of what might be coming in the spring if you're looking to buy. It might be a lot of competition. Now, the other side could switch too. A lot of people could be getting ready to get their home ready for market right now for this spring. They're just waiting for spring. We see this massive flood of inventory come this spring. Hard to predict. I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of people right now who have mortgage rates, very low interest rates. If they refied over the last 2 years, they might be having an interest rate around 3. Rates aren't expected to get that low. They're expected to come down, but not anywhere near that level there. So if someone's sitting there with a nice low interest rate and they don't have to move, odds are they're probably not going to. So we might have a very, very low interest or inventory session coming up here in the spring again too. So again, if you're thinking of buying, I really, if you're thinking of doing it, you can make it work in the next 30 to 60 days. Highly recommend getting in the market if you can.